How important are looks in life? A very valid question, a very normal question, and a very common question. The first thing a person judges you for are your looks. The way you look, your appearance, your clothes, your shoes, your hair. So the first thing people can notice about you is your looks. So the first judgment is on the basis of looks. So looks are definitely important. But the problem is that a person is much more than their looks. If looks is 1%, 99% comprises of a person's behavior, their nature, their attitude towards life, the way they respect people, the way they talk to people, and many more important emotional and personal aspects of a person. There would always be a first judgment about your looks. But a person should be mature enough to not completely judge a person, to not reject a person, to not stereotype a person on the basis of looks. To at least know them, understand them, talk to them, have multiple conversations, understand them, deal with them, and then judge who they are. The one who is straight away judging you for your looks and reacting accordingly is at mistake, is at fault, and is ought to lose someday in life. They'll miss on some excellent people and they'll get some worse people around them. Beauty is never skin beauty, guys. Beauty is always skin deep. Beauty is always inside, in your heart, in your mind. Let's say you like a person on the basis of their looks. You convince them and get into a relationship with them. And after 6 months, each and every conversation you have is a fight. You have no compatibility whatsoever. You can't match your thoughts. Your dreams are different. You end up fighting for everything. You stop respecting each other. Would the looks still matter? No, they won't matter. You will leave that person. I've seen many people leaving good looking people when their thoughts couldn't match, when they ended up being incompatible, when they fought a lot, they left each other. The value of looks disappeared. If you are looking for an employee to work in your company, will you look at their talent, their degree, their education, their experience, how they can handle situations, or you will select them on the basis of their looks? If you hire a person solely on the basis of looks and ignore their talent and abilities, I'm sure soon they will be unemployed, as your company will most probably go out of business. Do you ever judge your parents for how they look? They have been raising you for years. They have been doing so much for you. They have been fulfilling your demands, making compromises for you. Would you judge them for looks? Would you ask for better looking parents and leave aside all their good qualities? I'm sure no. You have a best friend of yours. You talk everything with them, discuss everything with them. Their shoulders are always available for you to cry. So will you judge them for their looks? Will you leave them for their looks? I'm sure no. What if a person bullies you, insults you, mocks you, and they look excellent? Would you like to be with them? Would you like to have more conversations with them? Would you like to make them your friend? I'm sure obviously no. You will avoid them, irrespective of how they look. Most people select a life partner out of infatuation and attraction, the way the other person looks and attracts them, which means all they have in their mind is sex, which is highly immature of them. In the life of 60 to 70 years, when you will be together every moment, every day, every night, in every misery, in every good days, in ups and downs, the way the person looks, their attractiveness won't matter. Mutual understanding, love, respect, being available for each other, standing by each other's decision, these things will matter a lot more than looks. Looks are something which can only give you pleasure of a while. After a while, looks will obviously appear boring. If you marry a person, if you be with a person for looks, you ought to get bored someday or the other. Because no matter how good they look, if you be with them, if you see them every day, you ought to get bored out of their looks. Then what will matter? Everything else, which you didn't focus on, which you ignored. And what will happen? You will suffer. Now, since somebody is good looking, you will make fake promises for being with them. You will show what you are not. And then later you will create a problem for that person as well. This is a fraud. A few years back, I went to a restaurant with my parents. It was an exotic restaurant. So when we took our seats, I just peeped into someone else's table like all of us do. I saw a very exotic, very nice looking dish. Immediately I was infatuated with it and all I wanted was that dish. A little afraid, I requested my father to get me that dish. He was considerate enough. He didn't say a no and asked the waiter to get that one. It was the most expensive dish in the entire menu. My brother and my cousins were jealous of me, seeing that I was ordering an exotic dish, and they were eating the normal naan and dal stuff which we order generally when we go to restaurants. After a while, the waiter got us the dishes. He kept that exotic dish in front of me while everyone was staring. I was so happy, I just can't explain in words. And when I dig into that dish, when I took the first bite, I felt like spitting it out. It was so tasteless, it was so bland, it was so bad. I don't know how people ate that, how it was so expensive. Just some exotic items and it's expensive. There was nothing in that dish. It was intolerable. And then the waiter brought the naan, mesmerizing, flavorful dal and those vegetable curries. The aroma was so irresistible. I just wanted to plead to my father to let me eat those things, but I couldn't, because I went out of the way and ordered that expensive dish, and now I can't say that I won't eat it. Forcefully, I fed my stomach with that bland dish and regretted each second my decision. This small incident has a big lesson to teach. What I did was to judge a dish solely on the basis of looks. I didn't read its ingredients. I hadn't experienced it before. I didn't ask the waiter's advice, and I simply ordered that dish because it looked beautiful, it looked mesmerizing. Similarly, if we judge people by their looks, the way a person looks, if they infatuate us, attract us, we go near to them, we form a relation, we select them for something, we start a friendship with them without knowing anything else about them, without judging them, without understanding them, then what will happen? Ultimately, in most cases, we'll end up disappointed and we'll disappoint the other person also. Looks matter for fools, for immature people who don't have any other criteria to judge a person, any better criteria to know a person. Don't be that fool. Talk to people, understand them, have conversations, know them, deal with them, then judge them. Then decide what you have to do. You have to be with them or you don't have to be with them. Not before that.